So right away, I want to dedicate this event to our artist, Leon Kennedy, who has been painting African-American moments for decades. And we have been privy to his work here at St. Mary's Center. Our walls are decorated with his incredible windows into the spirit and the joy and the essence of African-American history and people. So I'm going to turn it over to Susan Werner, who is here to talk about vision, spirit, art.
So,
Susan?
good morning, everybody. I'm here, and I'm just going to introduce Leon, and you'll hear my voice in the background for this PowerPoint presentation. So I have the honor of introducing you, Leon Kennedy, to today's Black History event participants. Please say hello.
Hello, and good morning, and God bless.
Thank you.
All right, so Leon is a beloved community member at St. Mary's Center, Oakland resident, an esteemed visionary painter and folk artist. Leon, you are all about our being here to care for, bless, and uplift one another. Thank you, Leon, for sharing your soulful gift and creating art, not just to do paintings, but to touch our hearts and minds and inspire and encourage us all to make a difference in our world. Today's presentation is a taste of Leon and his art that speaks a message direct from God. Leon invites us to notice how we are touched today. You're all welcome to share comments in the chat after this presentation. In Leon's words, I have a passion. I have been doing art for 57 years. God chose me. My paintings are visions that are God-given truths. My imagination is real powerful. I create art on canvas and cloth with paint, marker, glue, glitter, beads, and other objects. I pray that people feel the spirit when viewing my art and connect to their hearts. And now we will hear Leon introduce himself in an audio tape in the next slide.
My picture is the heart and love.
Oh, I can hear it.
Now we can hear it.
Okay.
Thing about an artist, that's what it's really about. People who write, people who sing, people who, they're not doing it for themselves. Actually, I'm doing it for God because He one gave me my talent and expressing it. And some people see the beauty in my work and recognize that it's real artwork. It's real, you know, it speaks. The eyes are sort of the main thing in my work. And I express passion inside, then I end up being a picture. Not just a picture, it's a picture expressing the human spirit. And I just keep coming out, like words go along with what I paint something, yeah. Truth, my truth, and it's inside me, and I have to express it. I need a canvas, I need something to put it down on. I'm not exactly a writer, but some people say, oh, your words, you like, someone like poetry, I say, when I say something.
All right.
Leon was raised, seen, supported by family, extended family, people in the community of Houston, Texas. Here's a painting of his Aunt Vivian, who encouraged Leon to use his artistic talents at a young age. Leon knows Black family culture as strong in teaching children that they are special and encouraging children to be and believe in themselves. Leon was raised within a church community, families that gathered together, where everyone held hands and prayed while the pastor prayed for family, community, the homeless, our nation, and blessed all. For Leon, everyone is family. Leon lives and breathes unshakable faith inside his soul. Leon painted Man with a Shopping Cart on a large canvas. Leon opens his heart to see and lift up all people. Hands are Leon's trademarks. Hands in prayer, lifted up praising God, even when I don't know how something is coming out. Leon paints eyes as windows to the soul. Fellowship with one another was inspired when Leon sat at a table, ate lunch, talked with other people at St. Mary's Center. We belong in circle, in story, and to one another. Leon knows we all go through struggles in life. We need each other, and that it is important to love and encourage one another. In Love Thy Neighbor as Thyself, Leon lifts up the importance of community and our St. Mary's Center community. In this mural, he has included himself, his mother, Nelson Mandela, Dr. King, along with seniors and staff. Our loving one another makes a better community. Without COVID and shelter in place, Leon says he's done some of his best work. He painted the image on the left while listening to protesters for Black Lives Matter on TV, and the streets of Oakland shout, "What do we want? Freedom. When do we want it? Now." And in this final slide, here are places to learn more about Leon and his art, his website, Facebook page, and in Dropbox. And next, we will watch a videotape featuring Leon Kennedy.
Can you see and hear it, Annie? Beautiful, thank you.
Since Tyson, model, actor, and a role model for women around the world. I really try to capture her spirit in her eyes, her smile, her skin tone, and flowers all around her. Well, spiritual flowers. Those roses she had, they got the black on them, because I like using black. And it's like an orange color. Copper tone, and this was brown, and the eye, I kept going back to the eye, to the mouth, and smile. The world may be sad, but I'm happy. I have a smile on my face. I knew my purpose.
Beautiful. Oops.
It's a grandmother, mama, great-grandmother with an attitude about life. And she have a personality, and she sense of humor, and you see how she look with her glasses on, with her big glasses on. And she really have a good attitude. She loves God, she loves her children, her grandchildren, and she loves people. She made me laugh. Yeah, she has fun with life. She loves life. She loves herself. She loves it. Same way I do. Grandma with an attitude.
And for you, Leon, what is the good word that you offer us?
God's love and love one another. That's my gospel. It's not my gospel, it's like what God wants us to do. He wants to love one another. He wants us to love one another. That's a scripture that I really go by. I live it. And helping somebody else on in their journey. I have to wait till I have love for people. My work being seen around the world, I'm saying almost the same thing. God, it's the whole top of everything. Not about me, it's about me that God uses me. I'm just an instrument, I'm just a vessel. You know,
All right, Susan, last word.
And to close, Leon will offer us a final word.
God bless everybody. And keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep the faith, and keep loving one another, just like, and you'll be all right. I feel the love, and I see beautiful faces on the screen. Hope I can meet you some kind of me. I'd like to meet y'all one day in person. God bless.
Thank you, Leon. So please, everybody, just give him a big hand. He has produced such a large body of work, and I truly hope that one day you could see his work in person, because that's when it really moves you. Thank you, Leon, so much. See her next. So Carey is one of our longtime senior advocates. His poem is called The Cycle of Destruction in American Cities. I will give Street Spirit the heads up that they will be showing their presentation right after this, and I'll try to call Angela Wellman while we're doing this. And Carey, I actually have the poem so everybody could read it with you. It's that powerful. This was published in Street Spirit. The author is Charles Blackwell. Carey, do you want to step up to the mic so that you can read it?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Carey, and I'm going to read a poem by Charles Blackwell. He's nationally and internationally published of poetry who lives in Oakland. Cycle of Destruction by Charles Blackwell. A frame, a skeleton, another crane, another construction site, a point of destruction, a high rise, a hole in the earth.
Miss Angela, are you on? Because
a makeshift environment, an unwanted site like Washington in the 1980s. A tent, an encampment.
Yeah. Oh, you mean just play her video?
Division, rent paid. The bank, eviction granted. The court, the shelters. The judge, the capitalism state. The bulldozers. A disruption, A bottled up mess, total disregard. A pile of corruption. Oakland, but not Oakland alone, in every major city, especially those with substantial numbers of Black folks, and sometimes smack dab in the middle of Black community. What was the Black community? Gentrification, 7th Street, West Oakland, used to be known as urban renewal, or rather Negro removal. The funds, the grants, the availability, the funding, source, the resource, the financial planners, the bailout, the investments, banks, the brokers, the investors, the debt, the allowances, the financial gain, the anti-patrol, the community block grants, the protein, the net gain, the protein loss, the greed factor, money laundering, a mayor, a city council person, an investor, a real estate broker, a developer, an envelope, a manic with coins falling, a reinvention of the wheel, a day of kickbacks, the slush fund, pay law, another envelope to cost. A pink elephant in the room, the disenfranchised, the destitute, the disposable, the disqualified, in the nutshell, the urban poor, the low income, those unable, on the fringes, on the Bronx, the homeless, the other American, an encampment, a project building, a developed tenement building, a slum, a dwelling, unsuitable, The American dream, a house the size of a matchbox. An eagle cough, collapsed, and crumbled. The disgrace, the horror, the tragedy, the nightmare, the painstaking greed. The raging evil, the sickness of society, the lint, the 30 pieces of silver manifest destiny to emanate domain. The conquerors, the domain force, gentrification, pitfall, grind, another 10. My name is Carey, and that was by Charles Blackwell. Over to you, Jamie.
Yeah, no, thank you, Carey. I was really struck by how many images that this poem kind of calls forth. And I know it kind of leaves us thinking, wow, what is it about our society that causes such suffering? And then there's another part that we have that is truly amazing and resilient and makes it happen for people and reduces that suffering. And that's why I wanted to really spotlight Street Spirit and Youth Spirit artwork artists, because they are creating positive change in the neighborhood. And so I would like to turn it over to Alastaire Boone, who will share her screen and talk about what they do. Take it away, Alastaire.
Hey everyone, it's me over here, and then Reggie Gentry, who's another little square on your screen. Reggie, do we have you with us? Okay, there he is. I'm gonna share my screen so you can see our presentation. So yeah, I'm Alastaire. I edit Street Spirit, which is audio. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good.
Which is the homeless advocacy newspaper in East Bay. And I'll talk more about that in a bit. Reggie, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Reginald Gentry. I'm 25 and I'm the social media manager, vice president of the board, and assistant project manager for YSA.
And we're just going to tell you a bit about some of the kind of what YSA is and some of the projects it's been working on, and same with Street Spirit. And how kind of both of us and both of our organizations use artwork to uplift community and uplift Black community.
Yeah, so I can do that part. So for me, myself, I've been a part of YSA for over 5 years. There's a progression ladder in our youth program where it starts off as an aspiring artist, and there's about
So we lost sound, Reginald. Can you try again?
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay. So we have a youth program in our organization. Well, I'll just describe YSA as a whole. So YSA is a nonprofit.
I can't hear you, Reginald. Hold on. It's my fault. Go ahead. It's mine.
Is it good now? Okay. So YSA is a nonprofit interfaith youth-led organization based in Berkeley. We serve, or we empower underserved youth from the ages of 16 to 25 by giving them 3 different types of training: art training, job training, leadership training. We also give them opportunities to build on their soft and hard skills, like resume building and whatever have you. As I said, I've been there for over 5 years, so I started off at the beginning position, which is an aspirant artist. And aspirant artists are required to do art assignments, whether it's weekly or monthly, and other things like attend meetings in order to earn their monthly stipends. And depending on your position on the progression ladder, you get paid either more and more often. So I've progressed over the years to the social media leader. I just tell people that I'm the social media manager because they know what that is, but the social media, the leader part, we have youth leaders on the progression ladder, which is the last step before you get to the final step, which is aging out and job placement. But we have several different types of youth leaders. We have the social media leader, which is what I am, peer support leader, street spirit leader, community outreach leader, tiny house village leader, and I think there's a couple others. And those art summits that I mentioned that our youth do, we'll also say that most of our youth in our program, for at least the entirety of my 5.5 years I've been there, have been primarily Black and brown youth, and most of which have been Black, African American, and that still is true today. A lot of the muralists that you see, all these murals that you see at the village right now, they've been done by a lot of Black and brown youth. When we were accepting muralists to do our work on the tiny houses, we were looking to focus on Black and brown youth, and more specifically local young youth in Oakland and Berkeley, because the village is supporting Berkeley and Oakland youth. Some of the mural artwork itself has, African American empowering artwork. There's one with a Black woman with an afro. I think she's putting her hand up. There's a couple other ones I can't remember off the top of my head. It might be on the slideshow. Here you see a prayers and blessing mural fence that surrounds the entire perimeter of the Tiny House Empowerment Village, which is what we call it. I'm not sure who did this stuff, but probably Ava Blue, which is one of our aspiring artists. She's also new. She joined about a year ago. But currently we're serving about 20 to 25 youth in our program. And the Tiny House Empowerment Village is going to be serving 11 youth from Oakland and 11 youth from Berkeley. And then the last 4 are going to be resident assistants. So there's going to be 26 tiny houses at the village, and we're, providing not just housing for that youth, but we're providing case management, and then all the things that I mentioned that we give to our youth program participants, like the different types of training and the soft and hard skill building. Anything else you want to mention, Alastaire?
Yeah. So YSA is a very cool organization because it has all these different parts, right? Like it has the kind of basic art and jobs training program that Reggie was describing, where youth kind of travel up that ladder of responsibility and produce really beautiful artwork, like some of those Black History Month drawings you saw at the beginning. And then now they're working on this tiny house village, which Reggie was talking about, which is kind of an extension of their program, which is going to actually house unsheltered youth in the East Bay. And as you can see, it's very beautiful and covered in murals and art, which is just really what YSA is all about. And then another component of YSA is that they publish Street Spirit, which is the newspaper that I edit. And I don't know, maybe some of you have seen Street Spirit around the East Bay. It's a newspaper that's sold by homeless people who are looking to make a little bit extra income. And it's full of artwork and like journalistic articles, as well as personal essays and poetry, like the poem that Carey read. And it's really a special publication because it is very community led. Like the people who sell it, like Atlantis in that last slide, are just community members who, and those are the people who you get the paper from. You can't buy Street Spirit in a grocery store or at a corner store. You have to buy it from someone on the street who's selling it. And so that kind of encourages a certain type of relationship building and community building. And then the artwork and the articles and the poetry inside the paper it's all a community effort as well. It's all people out in the East Bay who either want to write about their own experience with homelessness or poverty, or who want to kind of interview other people about their experiences with those things. And so the product that you get at the end is just very kind of based on what's happening in our community. And it's really written kind of by and for the people, right? It's not written, you really get a feel of kind of what's going on the ground, and what's going on in people's minds and hearts. And so I think that makes it a really special and unusual publication. And it's actually been around since 1995. It's 26 years old, so it's been with us for a long time.
You're older than me.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I'm only 1 year older than it. So anyway, it's a very cool part of our East Bay community, and it uplifts all kinds of people, from our vendors to the people who submit artwork. Like Leon has submitted a lot of really beautiful artwork to Street Spirit, a lot of poetry. So yeah, that's kind of what we're all about. And
sorry. So there's a lot of components about YSA that all fall under our mission statement, which is basically just, as I said earlier at the beginning of my spiel, just empowering underserved youth. And underserved as in, housing insecure / homeless, LGBTQ, neurodiverse, Black and brown youth, every scope of the underserved demographic we try to serve. And it's been a really heartwarming experience for me to be a part of the organization for over 5 years and see what's changed for the better. And we've had our struggles, of course, like any other organization, but it's only made us, tougher. And two of the components of YSA, as we mentioned, are the Tiny House Empowerment Village, which is in its 5th year of development, and it's 90% complete, by the way. We had the first 11 out of the 26 residents move in last Friday. Another component of YSA is, which is what you guys already know about, and Alastaire just explained, is Street Spirit. We have other components like our workshops that we have each week. We have open studio workshops where our youth log on to Zoom, and these workshops are led by our senior artists, which are staff members. And they basically assign the youth with art assignments to complete in order to fulfill their staff member requirements, or it's also just time for them to work independently on their own personal artwork. So we're all about empowerment, and we use art pretty much, as we said in the past, as like a vehicle for change, I guess you can say, a vehicle for empowerment. And I, for one, have gotten to see like the power in art that I may have never seen if I didn't join this place. I know a lot of people, my counterparts, my youth peers, have felt the same way.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's sort of what we do over at YSA.
There's so much to say.
Looks like I have a question or a comment from Crystal Bunn. You guys have time to.
Yeah, please.
Go ahead, Crystal.
I'm not able to see the chat right now because my screen is shared. So
let me bring it up. I got you. I don't see the question in the chat. How is the chat filled with compliments?
I believe she has her hand raised, so I just asked for her to be unmuted. If you still have a question, Christella.
I don't have a question.
Okay, no worries.
Well, if anyone does have questions, we're happy to answer them.
Yeah, I can go on and on about why.
Well,
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
How do you make such beautiful art?
Oh, that's really cute of you.
It's a great question.
Well, I think part of the reason is because of the workshops that we have every week where our youth get trained in making better artwork. Yeah, I think that's the biggest reason. It's our senior artists do a good job of teaching our youth artists, techniques and skills, art skills. And then, the more they get taught that, the more they remember for the next time, and they're only going to get better and better. And some of this artwork you see on the fences here, those were done by, as I said earlier, muralists, which had to go through an application process. So like when we got this site, 633 Hagenberger in Oakland, which is where the village is at, we decided that we're going to make like a mural team in which that team would accept applications for local muralists who wanted to paint murals on the prayers and blessings fence, as well as the tiny houses themselves. Each tiny house features 2 murals, and there's 26 tiny houses, so there's 52 murals just on the tiny houses. And then, as I said earlier, the entire village is surrounded by the prayers and blessings mural fence. So we're just really, I guess you can say, experienced. We've had a lot of.
Carey here with a question.
Hey, Carey.
Hi, how everybody doing today? Do y'all pay for the poetry?
Yes, so in Street Spirit, we pay our contributors. We pay $10 each poem that's submitted or that's published in the paper. So if you were to send a poem to me, and you would get paid after the poem appears in the newspaper. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's great.
Hello, my name is Brenda Whitfield. Where is the village located?
It's at 633 Hagenberger in Oakland. It's pretty close to the Oakland Coliseum. I can put that in the chat too if you guys want.
Okay, thank you.
Please.
Yeah, it's pretty much right across, or not exactly, but almost right across from Coliseum Barton. It's kind of behind the actual Coliseum itself in what used to just be a giant empty lot. So we're really excited that it's now filled with these beautiful tiny homes that will actually house people.
We have we have time for one more question. Amy, did you ask your question?
Yeah, I have 2 questions actually.
Okay, but let me have Ava first, and then we'll go back to you to close this out, okay? Ava.
Okay.
Okay, hi. Actually, it's Ava. And
Ava.
it's all right. I work with the Health and Human Resource Education Center. But my question is, do you guys do collaborations with other organizations?
Oh, yes. We've been, just in the last couple months, when we've been getting like this extra media attention from the village because it's close to completion. Like, so me being the social media manager, I'm in contact with a lot of these people who want to partner with us, whether it's like local businesses, organizations, whatever have you. We've had some hit us up on our Instagram talking about wanting to donate to us, donate in-kind donations. Others who want to actually like more long-term partner with us, collaborate with us, like doing trainings for our youth. We had one organization hit us up about doing like a financial literacy training.
Nice.
So we've had so many entities, I guess you can just call them, wanting to partner with us over the years. And we've been in existence since 2007. You know, I just joined in 2015, so I can only imagine how many have wanted to partner with us. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I have been buying the magazine for at least 10 years. But I'm gonna email you all because we have some really exciting projects coming up, and I know my executive director would love to talk with y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Reggie, can you put your Instagram handle in the chat too? And
those are good questions.
Yeah, my art in this, I can't speak for all the artists that you see represented here, but for me as the editor of Street Spirit, I'm just so inspired by all the amazing resilience and community initiatives that I see in the East Bay, and I'm so motivated to uplift those in Street Spirit. And I just think with Street Spirit and YSA, we really kind of have internalized this idea that art is beautiful and decorative, but it's also a tool for change. And the Tiny House Village is a really good representation of that in part because it's so beautiful and so filled with art. I think it's got a lot of community support. And as far as what it represents about me, I don't know. I need to think about that a little more. I love art. I love writing. I'm a people person. I think being involved with Street Spirit does represent those things about me. Reggie, how about you?
I haven't done much artwork at all since being a part of the org. I've done like a couple pieces. I remember one of the pieces I did was, I think it was a heart, and I colored it, one half of it white, one half of it black, and I did like a crack in the middle. And I think the artistic statement for it was, I think I described it as like the separation in between the ethnicities in our history, between black and white. I wish I could remember what I said about it, but that's one of the only pieces I did. And what inspired me to do that was, at the time, all the division in the country. So I just felt called to do something like that. But I think, to keep it quick, I think what inspires other youth in our program to do the work they do is just knowing that you're a part of an organization that empowers you and people like you. And as Alastaire said, art is a really good tool for change. And the more art you do, the more powerful you become.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Miss Angela Wellman, you have the floor.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and get started? This is Randella Jones. She, as you can see, a classical violinist and pianist. She is the one of our program managers of our youth programs at the Oakland Public Conservatory of Music. And she's also one of our teachers, and she teaches violin, piano, and an ensemble that we have called Son Jarocho, with Sonumbe, which is a Afro-Mexican ensemble, the first of its kind in the Bay Area that really focuses on understanding the relationship between Africans and Mexicans culture in Mexico. So she's going to be presented with her father, Michael Jones, and they're going to just delight us with a beautiful collaboration of music that they've put together. Some classical, we're going to start out with some Bach and then move into some other jazz standards and end up with, I think it's Don't Get Around Much Anymore. I'm not sure what the last one is, but I can put those in the chat. So Randella Jones and her father, Michael Jones. One last thing I'd like to say is that it's been a real pleasure co-hosting and supporting this collaboration. I'm looking forward to more like this and want people to know about the Oakland Public Conservatory. And we have free music education for children. So we have instruments and that sort of thing. So we can put our website, which is opcmusic.org, and get in touch with us. We'd love to. We also teach adults too. So we have adult education. But let's listen to some music now.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you, Angela. I also want to say how much we appreciated our partnership. We are going to be playing, I didn't know it was her dad. No, I'm really excited. Right in the middle of the video, but I want you to know that I will post the entire video on our online version. And here we go. So this is, I'm so upset because this is all we have time for. Yes, I hear clapping. We are going to post the entire video online. And we will share it with everybody. And I'm so sorry that we ran out of time. Do support our organizations that we have spotlighted today. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Love it that you guys were here. Cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you.